Robert Pattinson may have built his fame in the teen-friendly Twilight franchise, but he's proven to be a versatile actor who's prepared to take risks and shift genres since then. Hi, welcome to YouWannaWatch, and in this video we're going to talk about and get to know who is the real Robert Pattinson. Young Robert Pattinson. Robert Thomas Pattinson was born in London, England on May 13, 1986. Robert is the youngest of Robert and Claire Pattinson's 3 children and their only son. His 2 older sisters are Victoria and Lizzie. Apparently back when they were kids, Lizzie and Victoria used to dress Robert up as a girl and call him Claudia. Robert definitely has his dad Richard's facial structure and his mom Claire's good looks. When he was a child, his father owned a vehicle import business, and his mother worked for a modeling agency. Despite his modest nature, Robert Pattinson has always desired to be a performer first as a musician like his older sister Lizzie. Robert said he was expelled from his exclusive grade school for stealing pornographic magazines and selling them to his classmates during an interview on The Howard Stern Show in 2017. He would restock his magazine supply by taking them from a local store, which led to his arrest when he was 12. He told Stern, "I used to go in and take like 1 or 2, and then put them in my bag. I was in my school uniform when I was doing it, and it was kind of risky. At the end I got so cocky that I would take the entire rack." Model. Robert admitted that he started modeling at the age of 12. He says he was so successful as a tween because he was quite tall and looked like a girl. He said once he started to look too much like a man, his career waned. Unfortunately, his modeling career was unsuccessful. Acting. His father encouraged him to pursue acting as a career. One memorable night out for dinner with his father, the two were seated next to a group of young girls who informed Robert that they'd just returned from the Barnes Theatre Club, a prestigious program at the Herodian School outside of London. Robert was discovered while doing plays at the Barnes Theatre Company in London. It was after starring in Tess of the D'Urbervilles that he began his professional career. Robert Pattinson wasn't always such a well-known celebrity. In the early 2000s, the actor was cut from a film that was supposed to mark his feature debut after getting the role of Reese Witherspoon's child in Mira Nair's Vanity Fair. Robert was presumably excited to see himself on the big screen in 2004. Unfortunately, when he went to a screening, he realized that his character had been cut from the movie. CEDRIC DIGGORY. At the same time Robert was wrapping up work on 2 films, Robert Pattinson met with Mike Newell, the eventual director of 2005's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Following the meeting and audition, Pattinson was cast as CEDRIC DIGGORY, Harry Potter's pal and fellow wizard. Robert's life and career were forever changed as a result of the film and his role as CEDRIC DIGGORY. Robert chose to be in Harry Potter over going to university. He was 17 then. It was amazing stuff, and Pattinson openly admits that it got to him a little. Teen People magazine dubbed him the next Jude Law, while Screen International dubbed him a British star of tomorrow. Twilight. Following his Harry Potter gig, he auditioned for the role of Edward Cullen, a century-old vampire in love, in the bedroom of the film's director, Catherine Hardwicke. Both Hardwicke and his later co-star, Kristen Stewart, were astounded by Robert's performance. Kristen told GQ, "Everybody came in doing something empty and shallow and thoughtless, but Rob understood that it wasn't a frivolous role." Nonetheless, Robert's casting as Edward Cullen was perfect, but it angered the millions of Twilight fans who had been waiting for the film adaptation with eager anticipation. There were cries for a boycott, and 75,000 fans signed a petition demanding that Robert be removed from the cast. Over a decade after the first Twilight film was released, Robert admitted to Howard Stern in 2017 that he was almost fired from the role of Edward Cullen. He was instructed to lighten up since he was acting too serious as Edward, according to the actor. He was also given a copy of Stephenie Meyer's Twilight, which had every mention of his character smiling marked for him. Fortunately, he and the director were able to reach an agreement on the role. After Twilight. Following his Twilight triumph, the actor acted in the film Little Ashes in 2008, which featured him in a substantial role as a young Salvador Dali. Robert later rejoined with his Twilight actors for New Moon in 2009, and 3 more films of the Twilight saga, Eclipse in 2010, and parts 1 and 2 of Breaking Dawn. Pattinson and his Twilight co-star Kristen Stewart won the MTV Movie and TV Award for Best Kiss 4 times in 2009 and in 2012. No other pairing has won 2 years in a row, let alone 4. Robert has never been in a TV series despite having worked as an actor since the early 2000s and having 39 credits on his IMDb page. If there's one thing we've learned from observing Robert's career thus far, it's that he's everything predictable. Maybe he'll show up on the tiny screen one day. Robert Pattinson has been nominated for a number of Razzie Awards, despite not being nominated for an Academy Award or a Golden Globe. If you're unfamiliar with the Golden Raspberry Awards, they're a parody-style presentation that honors the year's worst performances. For his role as Edward Cullen in the Twilight trilogy, Robert was nominated for a number of awards. He was nominated twice for Worst Actor, once for Worst Supporting Actor, and 3 times for Worst Screen Couple with Kristen Stewart for his performance as Edward Cullen. Musician. Robert Pattinson is not only a talented actor, but also a skilled musician. Robert began learning guitar and piano at the age of 4, long before he imagined a career on the big screen. He has recorded various songs in his adult life, including a few for Twilight. He's also featured on the soundtracks for Damsel in 2018, in which he co-stars with Mia Wasikowska, and in High Life in 2018, in which he also stars. During a 2020 appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers, Robert told Seth that when he was younger he wanted to be a rapper, and he still kind of does. His rap name was Big Tub, part of Big Tub and the Tabby Cats, and he did record a few unreleased tapes. Yeah, I remember I didn't know how to scratch, and so I used to pull up and down the zip on my hoodie. It sounds exactly like it, he said while laughing with Seth Meyers. Robert told Today in 2012 that he doesn't understand nickname culture and thinks his own, "Our Pat," sounds like an anti-acid tablet. No driver. Robert told Ellen DeGeneres during his first appearance on her show that he doesn't really know how to drive. He said, "Technically I am driving, but I don't actually know how to drive. It's absolutely terrifying. Plus I don't know how to use the little wipey thing on the windscreen, so I can't actually see." Producer. Robert isn't just good in front of the camera. The actor was an executive producer for the 2010 flick Remember Me. He also starred in the film Asteroid. Robert is not just adored by Twilight fans and independent film enthusiasts, but he has also influenced an astronomer. Timur Kryachko of Russia dubbed a 1.4-mile diameter asteroid 246789 Pattinson, according to UPI. The asteroid was sighted by the amateur astronomer with his telescope in 2014, and it was registered with the International Astronomical Union. Waxed. Robert has been immortalized in wax at Madame Tussauds in London and in New York City. Most Handsome Man. In 2009, Vanity Fair awarded this title to Robert Pattinson, and it wasn't the first time that the actor had been added to a hot list. In 2008, 2009, and in 2010 he was chosen to People's Most Beautiful People's list. In 2010 and in 2012, he was named GQ's Best Dressed Man. Dr. Julian De Silva, a cosmetic surgeon, did not officially name Robert Pattinson the most handsome man in the world until early 2020, regardless of the fact that many admirers would have debated this point years ago. According to CNN, De Silva made his decision based on the Beautify Golden Ratio. According to reports, Robert received an accurate score of 92.15%. We are nearing the end of our video, but before we proceed, we would like to ask you to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/c/YouWannaWatch2022 and follow us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/YouWannaWatch. Okay, now back to the story. The Batman. Matt Reeves claimed that Robert's next role as Bruce Wayne in The Batman was inspired by Jack Nicholson's Chinatown in 1974. Though Robert is most known for a few strange parts in small films, he clearly enjoys large franchises as well. While speaking to Variety in 2019, Pattinson said big movies generally the parts aren't as interesting, at least the stuff that was coming my way, though the actor admits that he still had his eye on the role of the Caped Crusader. Robert said, "I'd had Batman in my mind for a while. It's such an absurd thing to say. I sort of had an idea to do it, and I'd been prodding Matt Reeves. He didn't accept any prods. I kept asking to meet him. Clearly, Reeves eventually came around, and the rest is movie-making history." What do you think of our story about Robert Pattinson? Did we miss anything that you think should have been included? Let us know by writing a comment on this video. If you're interested in our other videos, just hover over the videos and just press play. Until next time, watchers, thank you for watching our video.